Hello, you guys. And I'm not going to pretend like we weren't just talking for 10 minutes before we started. I can't do that. It's too awkward. But hello, chat.
Hi, guys.
And yeah, welcome. You guys welcome my guests. I'm so excited. I got two special guests. Michelle. I almost called you Michelle. I don't even know you.
You don't even know who you are.
Who that?
My brain. Melissa Jade.
Who that?
And Rena. And also, please go subscribe to both of their channels. I know a lot of you guys are probably subscribed to Melissa's, and it definitely go subscribe to Rena.
We're not going to have you laughing the whole time. I can't do this.
Not like that. We have very special guest, Michelle.
I know. I'm sorry.
That was a long day. Oh man.
I can't just change channels right now because Melissa's laugh is like,
I'm sorry, but that started off perfect.
Okay. It's how tired I am, and my brain is not working very well.
That's why I'm laughing even more, because I know how exhausted you are. I'm like, well, started off great.
Okay. Well, I'm really excited. So Melissa and I have been doing like a deep dive into the UFO thing, you guys know, over here, and that kind of led us into this topic because naturally, I don't know, I just naturally go there when you start to wonder what else is out there in the universe, then you wonder, where do we go after this, and that kind of thing. So Rena, I want to let you explain your whole story yourself, but these are the perfect people to go through this with us. We're going to talk about what happens after we die, not really like in the religious way, but with taking that out of it. What happens after we die, where we go from here, and signs of the afterlife. And I'm really excited.
You know what? I think it's actually pretty fascinating because growing up, and I grew up in religion and spirituality used to be at the total opposite sides of the spectrum. Like they'd say, like you're either religious or you're scientific. And with my personal journey, what I realized, they're actually not. They're pretty much one and the same. And it kind of comes back full circle. So just like you said a moment ago, like we're going to get into that without the religion. It actually, which you got to tread lightly, but it really does go hand in hand. It does.
I know. And also you can be religious and also still, True Taylor said it on my panel last night and to me on the phone. She's like, I am very proud to be a Christian, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't wonder, what happened after. So don't I think some people think, oh, well, I'm a Christian, I'm supposed to believe I already know. Well, you don't really know, because also, even if you believe 100%, if you're a Christian, believe 100% in the Bible, you're still taking someone else's perspective and translating that into your own, and you know what might get lost along the way.
Yeah, they actually have it there. They have something they specifically call it, but it's actually a step within religion where you do question your religion. I forgot what it's called though, but it's normal.
Yeah. Rena, do you want to explain your channel and that kind of, and who you are and stuff?
Yeah, I can explain it. So December 8th, 2021, I lost my 22-year-old in a car accident. I was probably like many. I didn't really believe in, spiritual stuff, getting signs and, all different kinds of things. And when losing my son, I was determined I have to find a way to keep in contact with him. So I had actually started looking into different sites, like mediums and stuff. I'm not one of those crazy people who spends thousands. I've actually found Facebook groups that you can get free, readings and stuff. I did send some of them to Allie to kind of show you the readings and stuff. And I started learning more about signs. Melissa's helped me a lot. I started, doing different stuff, spiritual, to just try to learn how to contact. I was just determined to contact my son. So, but it's amazing the signs that I have gotten.
I can't imagine, because I feel like I'd be the same way. I just you would, I don't know, you really want to find a way to make contact. And like I was telling you in the messages, I know that was super comforting, because it's, I don't know, that's just what I would be thinking about.
Well, just imagine, I lost my dad 2 months prior to that. So along with that, I started getting signs from my dad too. So it's helped me a lot. So
Well, how are you supposed to walk away, as a parent,
Yeah.
which I think that's the absolute worst thing you could ever experience is the loss of a child. And it's that no matter
Yeah.
how strong your faith is, it's got to shake your faith, because it's like, hey, you have
Oh
to
yeah.
have this feeling of he's okay. It's what you're hearing all over again, right? Like he's okay, he's there, he's on that other side, you'll be with him soon. But I couldn't imagine the feeling, no, I need to know. I need to know type of deal. And Rena's actually been getting
Yeah.
signs from the moment Zach passed. And, going back and looking at it, because in the beginning, and I'll just say it from my perspective as her friend when Zachary first passed, of course, when she's experiencing signs, you're going to be supportive no matter what, right? Because you don't want to be the friend who's like, I'm not sure about that. So in the beginning, it's like, yeah, I'm going to support her. But then her son, one after another, started coming through with signs that were undeniable, that it's like, holy crap, I'm not just being a supportive friend here. Like he is making his presence known. And I think it has something to do with him being young and dying suddenly, because they say that has an impact over how strong your presence is on the other side. And yeah,
Oh
and
my
what's so
God.
funny is his personality is identical on the other side than it was here when he was on Earth.
Oh, that
he
is so
was
weird. It's so cool.
one. I mean, I can tell you about it was literally, so he was in the accident. It was on a Wednesday. I was not allowed to see him until Friday. And it was me fighting to see him. So
Oh
I
my
finally
God,
made it
Raina, I'm
to,
so sorry.
yes, I finally made it to see him on Friday. Like I finally said, I'm coming. Like you need to let me in the door. So when I got there on Friday, it was 2 days afterwards, I had gone to see him and I just closed my eyes and I had to beg them just to take his hand out. I was like, let me see his hand. They didn't want me to see what all happens with the
Right.
accident. And I got to
Right.
see his head, and I got to see his hands. And all I wanted to do was hold his hand. And I'll never forget that moment. I actually holding his hand, and people are probably going to think I'm crazy here, but when I was holding his hand, I actually felt when I went to take my hand out, I also actually felt it almost felt like he squeezed my hand to like continue to hold it.
Oh my
And Melissa,
God.
how did you explain that to me that night?
I think it was, like, because he died so suddenly. I think
Mm-hmm.
that there's that residual energy where they're still here, especially if it was sudden and traumatic. And so
Mm-hmm.
I think whatever energy was left within his physical vessel, he guided it to that point in his body and kind of like made sure that she felt it before it released from his physical body.
Oh my God. Well, I was watching a medium like on the way like home today, listening to a medium, just like listening to stuff for this. And she was basically saying that so many of the people that she's talked to were like really surprised that they were dead. They couldn't believe it. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like it's pretty shocking if it happens very quickly. Like, oh my God. Rena,
Mm-hmm.
I am so sorry. I know, I've said it a million times and it's not, but still, I just got to tell you again because, oh, I just can't imagine. But, okay, I'll pull up some of these videos then. Which one do you want me to pull up first? Let me show
Why
you
don't
what
you
I've got back here.
I
do the one that Melissa fixed for me? Just because that kind of goes in range. Like,
Okay.
Yeah,
And
but get context behind it. If you
yeah,
scroll
and
up,
okay,
yeah,
I've
so
got it.
this video here that oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Allie.
No, you're fine. I think we have a little bit of a
Okay.
delay, but all I was going to say is, I want to also grab where you put that text over it because I want to show like how you showed what. Oh, it's in this one actually. Still, Melissa,
yeah,
you added it back in there. Okay, perfect.
yep,
Never mind. I just wanted to show like the where you had to take that comment and also what that means in Morse code. But
yeah.
okay,
I would just pause it when it gets to the end of that. But yeah, give a
okay,
little
I
context
can
behind it, Rena.
explain. Yeah, I can explain real quick with this. So the day of his accident, his accident happened at 8:15 in the morning. We actually didn't find out till about 10 a.m. He was on his way to work. And I was actually at that time when I got the phone call, I was at the heart doctor with my husband. He had just had a heart attack like a month before. So we were at the heart doctor for his follow-up when we got the call. I booked out, and then we headed home. And at that point, we were told we weren't really sure. I didn't even know where exactly he was. They weren't really weren't going to give us answers whether or not he made it or not. And I was told that the state troopers will be heading to my door. Obviously, when you hear that, you know what's going to happen. So what you're going to see here is on my camera in my house. I had gone back and I knew that it was going to be deleted, and it may sound silly to some, but I kind of wanted to keep it because that's everything that happened that day. I actually didn't really go back and listen to it till this past December 8th. And what I heard is you can hear the beeping. And after, talking to Melissa and a couple other people, they were like, it sounds like, what is it called? Morse code?
Morse code
Melissa?
immediately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I actually reached out to a Facebook page, and you'll see in here the answer they gave me. So if you want to play it.
Okay. And yeah, Bran, I am so sorry. I did not know about that at all. So oh God, it's okay.
And D Smalls, it wasn't this past December, it was December 2021.
Okay. Wait, oops.
I can't. Please answer. I can't. I just can't. Go. What's that, please. Call, please. Please go. Please.
Oh my God.
I know. So you literally hear her again, because this is like the moment where you're finding out something horrific happened with your child. They're not giving you a straight answer. Was it him? Is he dead? Like that state of limbo. And you hear her pleading out, please, Zachary, answer. Like she's trying to call him. And then all of a sudden you hear that clicking. And it's like, it's a direct response to her asking him, please
oh
answer.
My God.
And it's like he is answering, just not in the way that you would want him to answer. And then those clicking sounds, like Rena said, she reached out because you hear that and he translated it the best that he could, and the translation comes out to, this is from, and then it's his literal initials and the state that they're from. It's like
Rena,
he was
thank you for sharing
himself.
this. Mm-hmm. Sorry, thank you for sharing this with us.
Because like I said, it's tough. It's tough, but I want people to realize, I mean, like you said earlier, so many people are afraid, there is life afterwards, because I've got tons of proof.
Yeah, I'm going to play it again one more time just so people can hear it again, because you hear her say, please, just answer. And then it's like, click, like just like a direct answer to you.
And what we do know is that a lot of time with, past loved ones or spirits, what do they have the ability to communicate through? Electronics, right? They have the ability to communicate through, electrical waves, radio waves. Right. So it would make sense, given that he had just newly passed in this moment, that he was trying to connect through the electricity, anything at that point. So thank goodness that she even had that recorded and thought to grab it before it deleted.
I know. I can't believe that it was just completely meant to be that you got that.
Mm-hmm.
It really was.
Please answer. I can't. I just can't. Go. What's that, please. Call, please. Please go. Please.
Oh God.
It gives me chills every time.
It's
just
incredibly
to explain.
touching.
So I had, when I showed the girls, I didn't want I didn't want to be showing them my husband, you know, and everything else. And not that but I didn't know if my husband would have cared. So that's cropped up of just me. And then nothing against everybody, but I didn't want to be, I was a hot mess. So I was a mess.
Ugh.
Not even
I think it takes
yeah.
strength enough to show yourself in your most vulnerable moment in your lifetime, right? Your most vulnerable,
So
lowest
Melissa
moment in your
blocked
life.
out
So
my
that's
throat
strength.
and everything else that I had.
That's some
It does.
strength.
It does, Melissa. I
If it
agree.
can
And
help
like,
people, I'm for it. I mean, I'm for it at this point. So
Yeah.
oh, I'm really glad that you did. And yeah, oh my God, that is just, it's incredibly touching. It's awful to hear you like that. And also just knowing like how proud you were. I just remember he was new into recovery, and it's just, yeah, it's incredibly touching. It's crazy that your love is so strong that even after passing on, you can still, you know what I mean? Like love
That
your
connection
family
is
and
never
care.
lost.
Yeah.
You know, your physical vessel can
Oh.
die, but that love transcends time. It transcends space. It transcends everything.
Okay. So which one do you guys want? I haven't watched. The only other one I watched was the boot.
okay, let me explain that
Okay,
one.
go up. Yeah, I'm starting to think. Do the graduation video.
Okay.
Taking the lead.
Oh, go
My
ahead,
video.
Melissa. You explain this one. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is Rena's other child during graduation. Rena wasn't even the one who videotaped this. It was somebody else's video. And then all of a sudden, as her other son is walking past, you could actually see Zachary's face. Now, Zachary has a very, very distinct facial features. He has like those dark Italian features. And so you'll see his face pop up everywhere. But in the back, what was it, the light post, or was it the tree that you see his face on it?
It's the tree. I think I included the picture too. If she wants to
Yeah,
just
so
do the
if you
picture after
leave the
showing the video.
video,
Yeah.
Okay.
because it's just showing where the screen grab is from.
Oh my
Melissa has
God.
pretty much lived
mean,
my
if you don't
life
see
the last.
Right
She can
there
tell you
on the
everything.
post, right there. It's, and you have to be, you know, granted, you have to be familiar with Zachary's face, but that is his face. If you see the white on the post,
Yeah.
that is his
I
face
see it right
looking
there.
down at his brother graduating.
Oh my God. I should have grabbed this. Okay, so when my uncle passed away, my mom's brother, my little cousin was like 14, and he took a picture in his basement that night talking to his girlfriend on Snapchat. And in the picture behind him, it's very similar to this. You can see his facial features, his head shape, his clothes. Like he is standing behind his baby, watching over him. And you can see it so clearly in the photo. It's honestly
I've
really awesome.
tried, because with Rena, with Zachary, she would even play games with me to this day. She will send me a picture and she'll be like, you find it. Because she wants that reassurance that she's not making it up. Because if she shows me, right, I could just be like, oh yeah, I see that. So she'll send me a photo with 1,000,001 objects in it, and she'll be like, what do you see? And I have to circle and pick out the exact thing I see, and it gives her that reassurance. But I'm telling you, I start seeing his face everywhere. And so I started to do an experiment, and I looked for my child's face. Like, would I see, is it easy to pick out someone's face? No, it's just his. It's just his.
Oh, wow. That is so cool.
It does.
Yeah.
It starts making me feel like I'm crazy. I mean, now I'm just like, I don't care what people think. But for the longest time, I felt, oh my God, I'm crazy. Like they're gonna see me as this crazy like face lady or whatever, or I don't even know what to say. But I thought I was crazy. So
you're not
Amber,
crazy.
I've never.
Amber, that's really common about your grandma. That was another thing I've heard a few times, but I heard just today. They were saying like if someone's in hospice or palliative care like that,
yes,
like 2 weeks before they die, people will start showing up, like their loved ones. It's like, come on now, it's you got to come on. We're
and
here
they
to
do
get
the
you.
reach. The infamous reach, where you'll see, usually this is with hospice, you'll see your loved one reaching up towards the air. That they say that's the loved one's. They have full on what you would think is hallucinations. Meanwhile, no, it's like the other past loved ones coming to retrieve them.
That is just so freaking cool to me. I love that. I don't know. It's comforting because like I was saying to you guys in that private message before, it's one of my greatest fears, like the losing the people I love. It's something I
Right.
think about daily, and I didn't used to. I was always scared of it, but then when I was pregnant with Bentley, I got very sick. I had a near death experience. I almost died, and I even didn't see Bentley for a couple of days after I had him. I was on blood transfusions, everything, and after that, like it's almost like PTSD in a way. Like I know how quickly because I didn't even know I was sick. It was like this, like a snap of a finger, and next thing you know, life was changing, and I could have died, and that's just the way it is. So it gives
Just
you
like
like
that.
it's
Mhm.
scary, and
Yep.
this kind of stuff reminds you that no matter what, it's gonna be okay
Yeah.
at the end. But okay, so which one do you guys want me to do next? I'm gonna grab my cigarettes and go outside with the computer.
Go ahead, Jade. You got this.
I
You know
think
my
his
life.
face out. I think his face popping out of the grass. That one was probably the first one that I was like, "Whoa!" Like I'm not just
That's
being a
my
supportive
dad.
friend.
That's my dad.
I
tell
don't
you, that's
know.
my
Like
dad.
I see you. You can see your dad, and maybe it is your dad, but I see Zach.
They kind of looked very similar when they were
Yeah.
younger, so that's probably where the confusion is. But yeah, you can share that one. So
Aw.
let me explain that one. But that's in the video. So if she wants to play the video,
Yeah,
it's
that's
the one
fun.
that
Look,
says signs from my dad and signs from Zach. It's my YouTube video.
Right there on the top.
okay.
Yeah, right there. And we could just kind of, if you want to just kind of, I
Got
can
it.
explain real quick. I don't think this is real long.
Yeah. Of course. And I'm gonna grab this link. I know that I hope
You
the
can
mods are
actually
dropping
turn
it. You
down the
guys,
music if you want.
Yeah, just mute it.
okay. Which I mean, I don't care. This channel's not monetized or anything, anyways. And even if it was, I wouldn't
No,
care.
it's
for
just, I'm
this.
going to be honest,
but-
it's lame music. It's when I was first starting to learn how to make videos. So,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, here you
and then
guys.
this way,
Here's
kind
the
of while
link.
we're
Please
going
hit
through.
subscribe. Yeah,
That
sorry,
damn
we have a
delay.
delay majorly. I know. I'm so sorry. It's
good.
awful.
Is it me? I don't know if it's me
No.
or.
This happened last
No.
time me and Allie were on panel together, and it was so bad, like, because I'm already an interrupter. So I was trying so hard, just wait for the gaps, Melissa. But every time, because of the delay, I was screwed anyway. I couldn't do it.
Well, let me come out and come back in and try. Hold on one sec. Because it could be, I don't know. Maybe I'll help. I don't know.
And Shay Benet, I do watch that woman on TikTok. Well, I watch her on YouTube Shorts, and she's the hospice nurse, and she reenacts basically scenarios that she's been through with her patients and stuff, and it's really interesting.
Okay.
Is it better?
I don't know. Let me say.
Let's
Did
get
you
out 1,
2,
3,
4.
5? Oh wait, I'm not 5. I'm sorry.
that failed.
We'll know in a minute if we
Well, see, it's even harder for Allie. She's got 2 Italians up here, and we just like to cut in to begin with. So.
Me and Rena on the phone literally just consists of us talking over each other. We just flow with it.
Well, that's all right. I think it's a little bit better. I don't know, but either way, we're fine.
So.
Yeah, we'll know if we end up talking over each other again after this. But okay, so you can explain and then, yeah.
Only thing I need to ask, is there a way to make this like bigger screen? Like, I don't know what it looks like up there. Because yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just press play. She'll explain.
Okay. Oh yeah, because the music's muted. There we go.
I think most of it explains it in the video.
Rena's just trying to get out of talking.
I hate talking.
Oh, good.
That is my son.
So beautiful.
Yeah. How handsome is he? Very, very handsome boy. But hopefully now people can recognize his face in the poll in the previous photo that we showed. He has those dark, distinct features.
Oh.
So she has a lot of birds that come to him. Yeah, 2 weeks after my dad passed, because you have to remember her dad passed 2 months before Zachary passed. So they tend to come together. And that's that comfort, right, of knowing that they're together. And
so this bird, real quick, I'll explain about this bird. At that point, like I said, signs, I didn't like anything. I literally called the girls, Melissa, and a couple other people, and I was like, what? Like, there's this bird that's on my step and will not move. And I was scared to death to go out of my house. And I walked down, I like ran down. When I came back home, I guess I was picking up my daughter or whatever. The bird was still there and it was healthy. Like, you could tell there was nothing wrong with it. Later on that same day, it was in the bird feeder. I literally walked up to the bird and was like standing there, like right up to the bird. And it was just staring at me.
I remember a slightly different version. I remember Rena out on her deck and being like, what the F is wrong with this bird? It keeps inching closer to me. And she's like, I was on the phone with her. And you better stay there. Stay there. And it just kept inching closer and closer to you, which usually if you make a sudden movement, they'll fly away. But this bird just was not.
Well, it finally flew away with my husband. So he gets home and I'm like, walk up to this bird. Like, it's been hanging. As soon as my husband walked up, it flew away. It was fine. But it just was hanging there. God.
Well, that reminds me of that bird I sent you guys. Remember that little boy that was like doing the same thing, coming right up to the bird and it wouldn't fly off? That's crazy. I'll show that one after this just to show it and then go back to the
and then
videos, like
one day. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Rena.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So this, it's hard to see on here. Wow, I made a crappy video.
Yeah, you should have stopped it. You amateur. I don't know what I did. Yeah. You left the date. Well, I think you want to leave the date in there.
I wanted to leave the dates because remember I was like, oh, I have all these. Let's put the date. So this one here, this was the day of his services. I did not notice this that day, but something told me to take the picture because if you can see, and it's so hard to see here, but you can almost okay. So my son's thing was middle finger. Well, hold on. So you see the hand underneath it all? I was taking it because of that. My son's thing was the middle finger. I guess it's cool. So immediately when I came out that morning, as you can see, it was 6 something in the morning. The day of his services, I go out and I see this middle finger in the sky, like clouds. And I'm like, yep, that's how I feel. So I took a picture of it, not even thinking at that point middle finger with Zachary. So a couple days later, probably about a week or so later, I'm talking to my family because my cousins, and you'll see that picture in here too, they had gone to a Christmas thing and you'll say it's really awesome. So I was telling them, I was like, oh, by the way, on the day of his services, there was a middle finger in the sky. So when we took this, my sister was like, Rena, you can see his face. I will have to send you one time the actual picture to see, because you can actually see his face. Like he's to the side. I don't know why you can't see it on here, but
I've noticed that. It's normal. I've noticed that with other pictures. I guess because your phone screen is so much smaller, you can, I don't know, you can just see things better. Sometimes you get it on the bigger screen and it kind of blurs them out almost. When on the phone, it's much more clear.
Pixelated and stuff.
Yeah.
And you want to know what's funny? I remember when Rena had a reading. It was actually from a YouTube creator. I think it's Vintage 5280. And listen, I usually don't do this, but the energy that's coming across, I just want to curse. And it was so funny because it was that is Zachary, would have a potty mouth and Rena was saying would flip the middle finger. But if you're going to someone who's trying to connect with your child and that's their personality, if they're coming through and they're describing someone who wasn't him, it was but the fact that she's listen, whoever's coming through has a sense of humor and is cursing. And it's yes, that gave her confirmation. I remember how happy you were to hear that because it was yeah, you're actually describing what he would be doing if he was kind of talking on the other side.
That's funny. Whoever is coming through has a sense of humor and they're cursing. This
is what I mean by
they like the F word or whatever,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
His personality is identical. He will mess with his siblings. Exactly what his personality was here. It hasn't changed on the other side. He will do those same things.
Oh, yeah. And anytime I've talked to a medium or anything, they're always I just feel I want to. He was very energetic. Even as he got older and, was no longer living here, when he got older, he would come and I would like feel like I needed to take a nap when he left because he was so energetic. so
And so is his
So.
spirit energy,
You're like, oh, I'm
Oh, yeah.
exhausted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He wore you out.
Yep.
That's funny. Well, oh crap. Yeah, we definitely still have a delay, like about maybe 5 seconds.
Jada says, how do I see the face? I see it.
Who said? Do you see it?
Jada
I
Okay,
see
good.
it too, I
said they
think.
see the face.
He's facing kind of sideways. So from here, if you're looking, his face is to like the left. You can see a baseball cap. It's right over the hand. You
Nose
can see his
and
eyes,
like a mouth
his
right there.
nose. Nope, other side.
Is that the nose? Oh,
Nope, his
okay.
face isn't even. I don't even see his face there. It's on the other side. I'm pointing to the screen like you can see me.
Oh, okay. Now I see it better. It's top left, Allie. You have to look at the shadows. Don't look at the white. Look at the dark spots. The dark spots are usually where his features are. Remember, I said he has a lot of dark features. So if you take
It is
your
on the left, Jaded. Jaded's got
pointer
it. It's on the
top
left.
Yep.
I see it. Oh my God. You see,
Yeah,
here's the
there
eyes,
he
the
is.
nose,
Yeah.
and the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
No, not there.
Oh.
Look right underneath it. Right there. Right? No. That is actually what
Right
we
here?
thought looked like my grandfather. So we had actually, when we broke it down, my grandfather, and then my grandmother, but Zach is actually in the middle, right smack in the middle.
On the
Ooh, it's
See,
left,
I
really
can
blurry.
see
I see
like
top
two
left.
eyebrows here, 2 eyes here, a nose
Yeah.
and a mouth, and it's like almost sideways looking, like looking off, not straight at you, but looking like over to your right a little bit, like as if it was
And
looking
it's
over your right
crazy.
shoulder or
Anytime
more,
he comes,
right?
like I have all different types of things,
Mhm.
either in the clouds of him, you'll see. It's all different ages. So it's not always the same as like when he passed, which was 22. It's all different ages. But if you hit play, yeah, there's a lot more different that they may actually be able to see. Oh, I circled it. There you go. Right in the middle of that circle. He's looking to the left.
I saw different. I saw the top left, Rena.
Well, the top left is what we think looks like my grandfather.
Okay,
did look
I
alike
see
a
that
lot
one
when they were
more clear
younger.
too. Another one with
Clouds
his
and
face.
moons are a tricky one, though.
Okay, so I was just taking a picture of this to show my sister or whatever. And when I went back and looked at the picture to the right of the phone up top, you can see Zach's face.
To the right,
and you'll see the next one. The next one, I circled it. I circled it in the next one.
Yeah, press play. Just go to the one that she circles.
Oh, there. I didn't circle it. It's right there.
Okay, yeah.
To the right of it. You can kind of see him.
Up now.
See, and for me, it's probably easier. Yep.
Oh, yeah. I bet it is because
his entire face is the shadow of the. Sorry. But again, like what Rena is saying, it's true. When you become familiar with his face, you could start spotting it a lot easier. Like it's trying to ask somebody, hey,
do you see
you're
that
not familiar
there?
with what this person is, but try to find their face type of deal. It's hard. Imagine not knowing what Waldo looked like and trying to find him.
I can see
between
2
the circle,
eyes.
you can see. Yep, you can see the face up there. All right, so if you hit play, it should go to the next. Okay, so this one. Pause this one. And well, no, actually, see if I don't know if I circled it in the next one. So this is the picture my cousin had contacted me about.
Yeah, you did.
And this is actually
hold on.
Okay.
Because I just seen like on the bottom when I pulled it across.
Yeah. You can explain it. Go ahead, Rena.
All right, so this is the pause button actually blocks over it. Crap.
Oh,
okay. There you go.
So this is actually, and you can see it much better in person too, but this is actually multiple family members. I lost my uncle in May of 2018. My uncle is in there. We think it's my grandmother is the shorter person because she was literally like 4'9". And then you can see Zachary to the left.
Full body apparition.
And she was at a light show and they had taken a picture. And in the full picture, but obviously I wasn't going to post it. It's my cousin, it's my cousin's husband and my cousin's daughter. But they were taking a picture, and right behind them, they saw this when they looked back at the picture. So that was just
Is
another thing letting
somebody's
us know they're all together.
yeah. Is somebody's arm like on the other one's shoulder? Like I feel
Yes.
like I can see.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I
My
totally see it.
Zachary is on my uncle's. His arm is on his shoulder.
You see the
Oh my
three
God.
people, right? Zachary. And it's so much better to see, like, if you're actually looking, even on the phone, like when you could zoom up, you see Zachary literally leaning over and then two other people next to him, which, you know, are also family members.
Did he ever
Full body
stand with like his
apparitions.
hand on his hip? Like that? Like, did he ever have his hands on his hips a lot? Like, because I know somebody who I feel like the other arm almost looks like it's down at his hip, like bent a little bit. You know what I mean? I
Oh
don't know.
yeah, because that was the. He always thought he was modeling for something.
He's very handsome.
Yes, he was.
But this picture here was what made me then go back and start looking at other stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, the day of the services, like he literally was in the clouds. This was on my way home from somewhere. I don't even remember. So the funny thing is, for the first 6 months, when I did get signs from Zachary, he would always give them to me either the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, or the 10th. The 8th being his death anniversary. I always knew around that time of the month to expect to start looking for stuff. So when I was driving, Zachary loved cars. He was a mechanic. You can literally see there's a car. I took that as a sign for me. So it could have been for someone else, but I took it for me. You can literally see a car in the sky.
Rita's stealing signs out here on the street.
I'm just taking them.
That one's for me.
Yep.
It's for me.
Oh my gosh.
Could have been for the guy behind me, but I'm taking it. So.
Oh man.
Okay. See my son's face in the window.
This one. Okay, so my husband was sitting on the chair. Literally, I freaked him out. He's sitting on the chair, and I'm talking to him. All of a sudden, I look up at the window behind him. I'm like, don't move. And he's like, what? And I'm like, do not move. And I could literally see this in person. It looked like a person, kind of like a shadow, whatever, looking behind. I don't know how well you can see it, but the next picture, I think I circled it. It's literally Zachary's face. He's facing sideways.
Okay, hold on. You did circle it. Here. I see it. I see his mouth, nose, and chin.
Yep. Literally standing there at the window.
Oh my God. You could see it in person?
Yeah, she was able to. It's like he was standing outside. That's what I'm like. Pictures don't even do it justice.
Wow, you guys, that's really cool. Because, like, I knew that they would come through electronically, but to be able to see it in person.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can see it so clear. Okay, see my dad's face this time, it says.
Okay, wait till it zooms in. Okay, I see Zachary, but that's his grandfather, to be fair. So, like, his grandfather, very young, could look like him. But wait until it zooms up.
Let me explain this real quick. So this picture here, there was this cardinal, and it was like constantly out there, and and everything else. And I happened to be inside my house, and I took this picture from inside. So I guess the glares and everything is from like the sun. When I had gone back, you could see this.
Do you not see his face?
I see it right here.
Clubs? Yes.
It's like his hand is on the thing and he's like peeking at you through the bushes. Hey, I'm here.
When I saw that's the moment that I was like, oh,
oh my God.
In the sky. Like that was a full-on face. Oh my God.
Yep.
It is a full-on face. I can see that eyes right here. There's the nose. Now, is there facial hair or is that just a shadow?
Yeah, he's got mustache.
Facial hair.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my God.
And what was so crazy is that the original photo is so zoomed out. Like the fact that her eye even found that, like if you zoom all the way in, it was so crazy.
Yep.
That's absolutely Zach. Amanda says no.
That's what I
one.
said. Rena says it's her dad, like a younger version of her dad, which they could very much look alike. But the
only reason why I'm saying it's my, I mean, they look a lot alike. When my dad was younger,
yeah,
they look a lot alike. But the hair up top, I don't even know if you can, but if you actually really look at it, the hair up top was more how my dad, like Zach wouldn't have worn. Yeah,
I totally see it.
My dad's
100%,
nose is a little bit
I can see the hair. You can even see like a hand right here or something. Like it looks like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
My baby left me another heart. Oh, I see it
Hearts in the sky.
right there. And right there. There's
And you
two
know
that
what?
really.
And you know what? Once again, that could have been for someone else, but I took it.
Zachary would
The Z,
most
yes.
times come through the moon, which I love because I love the moon. But what's so hard about the moon, his face would be like full apparition in the moon.
Yep.
But
Well,
with
the
the
Z
moon,
too.
because
So
the glare, you can't
Yep.
capture it in photo.
me and
Wow.
my son, my 10-year-old, we were out just looking at the clouds and stuff, and I literally said, "Come on, Zach, because my son can never see any of this stuff, and he gets very upset." So I was like, "Come on," I was like, "Zachy," we call him Zachy. Show me something. Let's show Hunter something or whatever. I no lie, and I wish I would have thought to have videoed, but I got the picture. We literally watched the Z being made in the clouds.
Oh my God.
day.
That is so cool.
Yep.
He
Oh,
wanted his younger brother
that
to
is
see
so
it. Yeah.
cool. My son's face in the moon, easier to see in person.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
can't
know. You're all
see
gonna
it
think
in
I'm crazy with
pictures.
this.
You
no,
really
no, we
can't.
don't.
How nuts? Because I'm somebody that I have to prove. How crazy was I going with this, Melissa? I was like, oh
No,
my
but
God,
she's
I
right
get
because
this.
I've been obsessed with the moon. You know, I love the moon. And I have tried to take so
Mhm.
many photos of the moon, and you just can't. It'll come out blurry no matter what. And so I knew her struggle. I'm like, I believe you, but you can't capture it because the way it illuminates and the solar,
Yep.
like you can't get it.
For some reason, photos of the moon never come out. They always
Nope.
look smaller. They're never as, it's just, yeah, they
Because
really
it has
don't.
to go
That's so
through the
true.
atmosphere and it's shifting and it's like, no, it's not going to work.
Oh my God, I see the heart. Oh,
With the bird sitting on
with
it.
the
Look.
bird that comes
Yep.
often. Oh my God. That is really
Yep.
cool.
Right, Jaded? You just can't take pictures of the moon. It'll be like a full-blown full moon right in front of you, and you'll take your camera out and it comes out like it's like gorgeous view in front
Oh my
of you.
God.
You can't capture it.
You see his
I
face
see
right
it.
there.
Yep, absolutely. Two eyes, the nose, a
Yep.
little. It totally is him. You can see
I
his like facial
know.
hair, the way he looks.
Yep.
Wow. That's crazy, like that top mustache, because his wasn't real thick. It was like, and that looks like just identical. That is insane.
This is just sitting right outside my house because I spent a lot of time outside. I was obsessed with the clouds.
I would be too. You start seeing things, you're like, all right, come to me, baby. Come on,
Yep.
every day. It's so cool. Okay, what is in this one?
His face too. I'm trying to see. It's hard to even look. Even I can't figure it out. But its face is somewhere in this. It's hard looking on the screen.
Yeah, it really is. I know it is.
I circled too big.
This
Okay.
is when
Oh,
she
I
was an
see it there.
amateur video maker.
There it is.
There he is.
So that's very blurry, but that actually, this picture drives me kind of nuts in a way because Zachary looked a lot like my ex. And this picture looks a lot like my ex and Zach. And I'm like, but yeah, no, that's him.
Oh my gosh. Wow. It's so cool because I feel like I can even still see the facial hair. Maybe I'm crazy, but I swear.
This is just my cardinal
It
that
comes
comes, the
through.
cardinal that comes often.
And
I
one
know like
day-
cardinals are and like not cardinals, blue jay, cardinals and blue jays and stuff. But like either I didn't notice them before coming here often, but they just come more often now. I don't know.
Mhm.
I can't
There's
see it.
that
I'm gonna go
moon.
past.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
go
gonna
past
go
the
past
moon.
our moon because I don't
It's
think I'll be able
depressing.
to
Can't see
cardinal
it.
that. Oh my God, I love cardinals. They're said to be, your loved ones. And here in a second, I'm gonna show that video again of that little boy with the cardinal. Here's another Z. I see it right here.
Mhm. Yep.
Oh,
Right in the sky. And what's so crazy is that she would be asking for certain signs, and one day, what was it? A perfect white feather just sitting on her bathroom counter. Have you ever gotten like a bird feather just sitting perfectly, a white one on your bathroom counter? Like
On the
I never
bathroom
got
counter.
that.
And that
it
wasn't
was
even me who found it. Vinny came out. My son, my second born, he came out and he was like, Mom, he was like, did you put a feather? I was like, what are you talking about? And there was a feather just sitting on his bathroom, like on his counter.
yeah, no.
No,
That
there's
has never
me.
happened to me. No. So that is so cool, though.
Yeah.
Oh, there, right back
Yep.
here.
Back there, yeah. So random. It was in someone else's video too. There he
This
is.
was actually my son's friend had posted. Okay, so this one, and you'll see a bigger one. This is my three other kids. I had taken the picture. I think the next one you can see it better. Now this you may not recognize him, but this was him when he was younger. You can see him right there, like on the bottom. This is when he was younger, and he, believe it or not, he had a bowl cut, and he hated it. But
Rena, look
I was
how
that mom.
thick your circle was.
There's
All
a
kids
heart
had a
there,
bowl
and
cut
then
at
you can
that
kind of
age.
see him. Yeah, so
Oh man, my mouse is acting up. Hold
you
on.
may not be able to see it.
My mouse is there. We went. The mouse started the thing. I can't really see on that one. It's a little hard for me to see. Let me go to this next one. Came out to one
This
day.
is okay. So my hydrangea that I've had for like a long time is never. All of a sudden, it's the shape of a heart. Last
Oh
summer
my
it
gosh,
did, so
yeah.
we'll see what it does this summer. I came out one day, I was like, this thing's the shape of a heart, which seems to be the
Oh
things that he does.
yeah.
And he
He's
like
I
these are just like physical
love
signs
you,
that
Mom.
you can see.
You know.
Like he's made his presence known so many times. Like I said, he'll mess around with his younger brother. Like he's there. He makes his personality known.
Oh, he does.
His
He
presence
does.
known. His presence known.
That's
And what
so
I
cool.
always
That
said
is so
to
cool.
Rena, because what I noticed is she'll really want signs on significant days, like holidays, things like that are very hard to get through, obviously, and they're very emotional. And most times than not, he won't give her a sign on that day. He'll usually give her a sign on the, days following. And I tell her that's because he wants to show you that you can get through it. You don't need it to get through it. And then when you do get through that day and show how strong you are, he gives it to you as that reassurance.
Oh, Quinny says I get a sign every night from my son. Oh my God,
wow.
you guys, that's so awesome. And I'm sorry for your loss. Absolutely. Okay, so this video here is, look, it's a 1 minute and 11 seconds. I noticed that, but it's
All
a
right,
little
I'm
boy
gonna run
and
for a
his
pee break real quick.
Okay,
I'll be right
I
back.
just mute.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, and so this little boy and his dad just passed away, and his grandma is filming this. So I'm just gonna let it play through real fast.
Oh, awesome, Tara.
I found him. He's my friend.
That's your daddy.
He's my friend.
Did daddy come to see you? Good, don't jump up there, you might scare it.
Nope, he ain't scaring that thing.
Which is so bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Be easy.
Oh my God.
Scooting closer. Wow.
Don't try to pick it up.
Mm-hmm. Is that not so sweet, but also so sad, that poor
Yeah.
baby?
Oh, how precious.
Oh
Yeah,
my
like-
gosh, that one's gets me.
There is something, and this is what I mean by like the science and spirituality really does come hand in hand, because listen, energy cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed. We are made up by electrical impulses. We are made up by energy. And so when we pass on, that energy has to go somewhere. And that's where it pulls in the whole debate of, well, what do you think happens with that energy? And, to kind of tie into what we've discussed in the previous lives, is that we, at least that we know of, are currently in a 21-dimensional world, right? But we're only 3-dimensional beings. There's stuff happening all around us that we're just not perceiving because we're 3-dimensional beings. Like they say with the spiritual realm, that it is here. It's exactly here. It's all around us. We're just not perceiving it. But where do you think
Yeah.
that energy goes? You know, like it's that idea of, okay, you know, like your soul may pass on, but where does your physical literal energy go? And then I know you guys were talking about it last night, that they've done studies on this, guys, where they took a bunch of patients that at the moment of death, and it shows that they lost a very, very small, I think it was like 29 kilograms of weight, like a very small amount of weight that the person loses at the moment of death, which they say it's accounting for their soul leaving their body. You lose that little bit of weight for your soul.
That's insane. I cannot believe that. And we have other videos of Rena's too, if you guys want to look. I want to show you guys a couple of these too before Rena has to go. And then Melissa, I know you have one too. And this, I only have a couple, like 3 or 4 little TikToks.
Yeah.
So it'll only take a second. But I can't wait to show you guys these.
Well,
Let me
and
click on
over
this
on
one first.
Rena's
That's so
channel,
scary. That's crazy to me though.
she has all of her signs and stuff on her channel.
Yeah, and please, you guys, go over there and subscribe. I think your channel, she wants to help people with it, stop the stigma of addiction and just things that are so important. I just would love to see her go so far with that channel. Seriously, you deserve it, and it'd be really great. So,
I agree.
I just play.
This is what actually happens when you die. According to near-death experiences, the moment you draw your last breath, your consciousness or your soul will leave your body. If you die in a hospital, you'll be able to see your body as it floats upwards towards the ceiling. And as your soul floats up through the hospital roof, a magnetic force pulls you through a dark tunnel. Your memories and your thoughts will fade away as you move through this tunnel. When you reach the end of the tunnel, a brilliant light will shine. When you move closer to this light, you won't be able to help but feel a sense of deja vu. To quote one of the subjects from his near-death experience, he states, "If I was a Christian, I would call the light Jesus. If I was a Buddhist, I would call the light Buddha. If I was a Hindu, I would call the light Krishna." It doesn't matter what we call the light, because at the end of the day, it's just love. You see, they say that in the light you will have returned to a place without time, where everyone you had ever known is with you. You will be closer to your loved ones here than you ever were in their physical life. You'll be home. All the suffering you had ever experienced was worth this single moment. But unfortunately, this won't last forever. Because in order for you to stay in this place, your soul must be judged. And if you don't pass this test...
Okay, so that was all of that one. I just thought it was interesting. Just his, perspective or whatever.
Well, and we hear a lot about that, and that's what's so interesting about people who have actually died and returned, whether they flatlined for a period of time, like their heart stopped. And a lot of them do have these stories of exactly that we've heard of, that typical warm, inviting light, that energy that wraps around you and holds you. And I think that if enough people have shared this experience, that there's something, we know that there is something beyond that other side. I think what people fear the most is the lack of consciousness, right? Am I going to be conscious on the other side? Or am I just going to go to sleep forever? We're told that these stories, that we're reuniting with our loved ones and this, and I feel like that's where the fear comes in, is the idea that we're not. But that's why watching these signs and stuff, these intelligent signs that are almost communicating that there has to be something. There's something there. We just don't know what it is.
And
I agree.
Family members are together, because I can say I've had readings where both, and these people did not know, both my dad and my son have come through together, and they've joked around with each other the same exact way, said the same exact things to each other that they did here. Like, these people would not know this, the mediums. So it's been very reassuring to me. Yep.
If I said 29 kilograms, Dave, which equals 60 pounds, and I was way off, and I was trying to highlight the comment as if I was in control of the StreamYard. I think I said kilograms because kilo made it sound smaller. It's something small, definitely not 60 pounds.
21 grams.
Ounces, isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh, it might be.
Grams, ounces.
Grams are small.
It's less than 60 pounds. I promise.
Well, there's 28 grams. There's 28 grams in 1 ounce.
Mhm.
And then,
So
you know what I
wait,
mean?
so if
Then
it's
there's
60
16
pounds,
ounces
that
in a
like
pound.
literally means we don't have to judge ourselves for 60 pounds then.
Yeah, that's
So
just
like
your
I'm good.
soul,
I don't
man.
think it.
Who knew my extra weight? That's just my soul.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm 60 pounds overweight. No, I'm perfect. I'm the perfect size.
Yeah, man,
That's
you're
my
fat.
soul.
Nah, I just got some extra soul.
I got a lot of soul.
I got a lot of soul, man.
It's probably grams, Dave says.
Make your head go, huh? When I said 29 kilograms in Dave's head, he's like, 60
No.
pounds?
I don't think it's milligrams either, Lynn. I think it's grams actually, or ounces. Jen Lou said it last night a couple times. I
Yeah.
think she
I
said
probably
grams,
just
but I
added
don't know.
kilo because it made it sound even tinier. It's something. It's something itty bitty.
Dave, my soul's morbidly obese. Okay. Hey, this one, you guys, was even better. Like it was more
Okay.
like educational or whatever, if I remember correctly. So
Okay.
I think that you'll
love
like it. But
educational.
yeah, just pause me tell me if you want me to stop it though.
Science
Okay.
finally confirms what happens when we die. Ask your nurse friends about deathbed phenomena.
Now, if you go into hospice, it's less so now, but very strong then. You find that it's divided into bands. There are the nurses who are in touch with the patients. They see all the phenomena of dying, and the doctors who aren't and say it doesn't occur. So there is really quite a significant difference between these two. And I have some really interesting stories about this gap between the medical and the nursing staff. As I say, it's less now. We did 3 hospices and a nursing home in this country, and we did 3 hospices in Rotterdam to get a cross-cultural component. It's not very cross-cultural, but it's just slightly different, a little bit further away. And we found the most fascinating things. And so it's allowed us to put together a measure of the sorts of things that you can expect. The first thing that you may get is a premonition. And that means that you know you're going to die. So before you get the diagnosis, you learn in a dream, maybe, or it suddenly comes to you that you're going to die. The Dalai Lama says all of us know 2 years before we're going to die that we're going to die. The next thing that happens is that a few weeks before you die, you get deathbed visitors. Now, what's a deathbed visitor? They are relatives who come to you, and they do it in a specific way. They may stand outside the room in which you're dying, or they may come into the room, and that's quite common. You, of course, will talk to them, and then a number of them will sit on the bed and talk to you. And we took 100 deathbed visions and analyzed them for content. We found that the commonest people who come are first-degree relatives. Mother and father are commonly seen. Dead spouses are quite common. But we also, in fact, found that brothers and sisters come. We also found in our sample that spiritual beings were seen.
Listen to this,
Now,
Melissa.
spiritual beings behave slightly differently from the relatives. They tend to either wait outside the hospice, and they're seen through the window, or they may come to the door. The way that dying, I think, is it's like this. Deathbed visitors come, fine. Then, at some moment, you realize you're going to die, and it hits you hard. We're not coming back, guys. This isn't a getting well process. It's a dying process. And that then leaves you in a very difficult position because you've never come across that before. You've always had some control over something. You now don't. And so you have to start giving everything up until at the end, you've lost your ego. You've lost that part of yourself which has differentiated you, and you become what's called non-dual. That means that you do, in fact, merge with the universe. You will become universal. So that's what the data shows. Now, before you die, I just want to add one other set of phenomena, and these are called terminal lucidity. Terminal lucidity is when the Victorians used to call it late awakening, essentially. And what it was is that you suddenly sit up in bed, say hi to the people around you. Actually, you don't say hi, you say goodbye, because you know you're dying. And then you lie back and die. Now, that's interesting enough, but it's much more interesting than that, because people who are paralyzed and haven't moved maybe for a year, been in a long-term care home, they can sit up and do it. So for those few moments, the central nervous system seems to work again appropriately. But more interesting than that to me is the people who have Alzheimer's disease and have in fact lost their memories many years back and just been in a care home will sit up, recognize their friends, say goodbye, sometimes meet their dead relatives, and then lie back and die. So that's a real question for science, because how can you do these things if one just takes the argument that the brain secretes consciousness?
Science.
Everything he is explaining is how consciousness goes beyond just the physical body. That is what he's explaining. If you weren't like following that, like there is, and you become universal. Exactly. That energy does not just disappear. It's impossible for it to disappear. It can transform and it becomes around you. If you literally just get dispersed out into the universe. I love that.
It's crazy. And when he said that, made me think of you even earlier when I heard it. He's like, people will come, but also people see spiritual beings, and they see beings and they stand outside the room or whatever. And I've heard of that too. People see shadows and there's so many different, it's so interesting. So interesting.
Jan says, my mother came to me in a dream and told me to get my health checked. I'm glad I listened because there was something wrong. If I left it unchecked, I could have had a very different outcome. Wow.
Oh my gosh, Jan. That is crazy. That's so awesome though. I'm glad you went and got it checked, because I might be stubborn and be like, I don't know, Mom, I'm all right. Or I had a really bad dream.
Right. It was just a dream, They say never dismiss your loved ones coming in the dream. It's very easy that people say, oh, it was just a dream. I dream about weird things all the time. They say, no, never ignore. If your loved one who has passed comes to you in a dream, that is one of their ways that they're able to communicate with you, because that is when your consciousness is going to a different state or a different realm. That is when you're leaving your physical body and they can connect and communicate to you on that level.
It's crazy. Okay, I think this is a medium on here, and then I think there might be one other one, if that, and then I'm done. And the other one, it's something about 9/11 as well, except for it ended up being a little girl. Her mom thought she was reincarnated from 9/11, but it was actually from a plane crash into the Empire State Building from 1945.
Oh. I want to say sorry. I was like,
what happens when we die, as told by spirits I've spoken to. You will see a sudden beautiful brightness that covers your entire body. A feeling of peace and surreal calmness that has no words. You hear music that you can't possibly explain. So angelic, you can't. As you raise from your body, you can look down at yourself with complete tranquility. No more pain or worries. You feel engulfed with love. No sadness for the ones we leave behind. You ascend into the galaxy with swiftness like a zeppelin. You're eagerly greeted by loved ones, pets, anything or anyone you lost on Earth. You suddenly have another worldly knowledge, a complete understanding for everything. Our afterlife is parallel to our dimension that we lived. Here on Earth, nothing is physical. We can travel at the speed of light with only our thoughts. You can be reborn on Earth, but a part of your conscious soul will remain eternal hereafter. What happens when we die is
That's so cool.
Yeah, no, it is so cool. And then this is the last one. This is something a little bit different. It's brain scans, which I thought this was so interesting. So, and it's pretty, yeah, it's under a minute long. Let me just go ahead and play.
Found out what happens after we die. I'm actually not kidding, this could be groundbreaking. An 87-year-old man was being treated for epilepsy when he was hooked up to a machine that was scanning his brain. However, unfortunately, the patient died of a heart attack. However, when he died, he was actually still hooked up to the machine. When doctors went back to check the results, this is what was there. This specific chart represents the left hemisphere of the brain, and this one over here is the right. I can't fit them both on screen, but they essentially show the same thing. Now, this CA represents cardiac arrest. This was the point that the patient passed away. Now, 30 seconds either side of the patient's final heartbeat, a specific type of brainwave increased. These brainwaves are called gamma oscillations. These specific type of brainwaves are created through activities like memory retrieval, meditation, and dreaming. Which means even when the patient was declared dead, the brain was still working and doing something. Meaning we may genuinely go into a dreamlike state. Since time works different in dreams, that could mean you live a whole new life in there. This has never been seen in humans before. You have to share this with a friend. Elon! Doctors may have accidentally just found out what happens after we die.
Okay.
See, and they've done a lot of stuff, and yeah, exactly, Jaded. This is what I mean by energy, like those electrical impulses in your brain. Your physical vessel may die, but that energy's got to go somewhere, and so it transforms into something.
Very, very cool stuff.
I'm trying to figure out what that guy was saying at the end there. What did he say? Did he scream something, or what did he say at the end?
You have to, I think he said you have to go share this with your friends or something.
Okay, I don't know. It just sounded weird to me. I was like, "What?" All right, go
ahead. Okay, I think I must have skipped one. That must have been the one with the little girl, but that, or maybe I didn't save it because I thought maybe I could, like, we could do another one if you wanted on reincarnation altogether. But I do want to watch the 9/11 one. But I bet there's a lot of stories on that.
There's a lot of stories of the children with reincarnation, and I am fascinated by it. And now I'm going to be pulled and drawn to the 9/11 one. If you want, I could just play that one because that one is in 4 clips. I think it's just like 1-minute clips. I'm not sure, but I have other ones. And if you want to do a reincarnation live, I could save the other ones for a reincarnation live. But this one is just,
I mean, we can play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like I would be here for the reincarnation, but reincarnation, especially with my son, like, no, I'm not showing him.
And that's a normal feeling. Like, a lot of people don't like the idea of reincarnation, right? Because it's like, no, that means that my child is not my child, right? Or that my parent is not my parent. Yet the thing that you would have said that in your past life about that other, relative or whatnot. And it's not so much, they say, there is a theory that they say that there's only so many souls and a lot more vessels, and that the same soul can take up numerous vessels simultaneously. Now, I don't know if that's the truth, and I don't know if reincarnation is it. Maybe it's not the same for everyone, though, Rena, because
they say that. With it.
Uh-huh.
But my confusion with it is, okay, so like my biggest fear now is, and I know I still get signs here and there, is the understanding of it. And I think we've had this discussion, Melissa, is so if he decides he's going to reincarnate or whatever happens to make you, do that or whatever, if you have the decision, like, how is he still going to be available for me when it's my time? I'm very confused.
Because
again, I don't want to share him.
I've explained this to Rena. okay, not to geek out again, but even here, time is not real. And I know I joke around with that a lot, but it's the truth. Time is relative. It's not real. And one thing that I've known that is consistent with what they say about people who pass on is that you're sitting here thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to wait till the rest of my life, hopefully before I pass, and then I get reunited with my loved one. But it doesn't work that way on the other side, that you're already with them. Time does not work that way, and you have already been reunited with your child. You personally have to feel that length to get there. But apparently it works. Everything is happening now, and that's like really hard for your brain to wrap around. But everything is already happening simultaneously. Like, he is still here. He is no longer here. You are with him. It's all happening right now. It just doesn't feel that way.
Okay, Braze, I am so sorry to hear that. I am so, so sorry. And then Rena, they say that not every soul also reincarnates.
That's what
that
I
only
was
some
saying,
do.
yeah. It may not be that way with everyone.
He needs to listen to his mama, and he's not allowed to.
Rena's not giving him permission to reincarnate.
Yeah, she's like, no, sorry.
Italian woman. Nope.
What did I do?
He belongs to me.
You switched me.
And nobody gonna have him.
So, okay, you guys know, like, with my passion with 9/11 and stuff, this is just a four clips, so they're only 1 minute a piece. And there's this little boy who he started out with having a fear of really tall buildings and airplanes. And then eventually it comes out that he realizes that he was a victim of 9/11. I think if this isn't the one, then I don't know if he remembered being a jumper or whatnot, and then has this full recollection of being one of the victims of 9/11. And you look at this kid, you look at the age, you look at the fact that he had never been exposed to anything about 9/11 at this point. This type of stuff tells me there's something beyond our understanding. If not reincarnation, then there's something going on, though, to where there is at least presence on the other side, and there's something that we do not understand yet, and I think it's fascinating.
Well, Melissa, could collective consciousness explain that?
Yeah. Again, they say with collective consciousness, we're all connected. We're all one. The law of one. Look into the law of one. And that even though we individually feel like, oh, well, I'm in control of myself, I'm my own conscious, you're in control, there is something higher that does connect us. And that is what I mean by, in order for us to transcend and become of a higher consciousness, we all need to become aware of that and realize that we're all connected, just like in the movie Avatar with Pandora and that big tree with all of the electrical. It all connects everyone and everything. That's what our universe is.
Just imagine one day when everybody that's on YouTube world right now, when we're all up there, we're all going to get along.
Stop it. Don't tell me. Cooper.
Yes, we're all going to get along because there's no sadness. There's no angry. There's no, it's all happy.
Well, and that's what they say when you pass on. It's like all knowledge. You have all knowledge, and it's no longer anger and this. No, you are at this immense peace. That is what they say. Sorry, go ahead, Michelle.
So wait, who's Michelle? Oh, Allie. Okay, go ahead. Oh my gosh,
that was a good one.
I had to put up here with you two.
You gotta admit that was funny.
Rena doesn't laugh at my jokes. I just annoy her.
I just found that so funny. Sorry. Go ahead, Michelle. Okay, I'm trying to get it together. You gotta stop laughing. Okay. I actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say. It's probably best anyway that I don't. So.
Okay. All right. So here, I'll play the first clip. Like I said, it's only 4 minutes and 4 clips. So I'll start with this one.
I would be in bed and Kate would just start crying in the middle of the night. and he would wake up screaming about working in a tall building, and that he could see the Statue of Liberty from his office. He told me he dreamt that he was falling with the building like the way he died. It's surreal to have a 3-year-old talking about New York and talking about death. Honestly, I started to think, could he have been? Could it be? Could he have been in the World Trade Center? But there was a huge part of me that said, wait a minute, that can't be. It can't be.
Damn, I'm gonna have to stop sharing to get to the second one and everything. I think I'm gonna have to. Which there's like the full 10-minute video you could look up on YouTube, and it plays like the full 10 minutes. I don't know if it was on Oprah or what. If you're interested in the story, I would go watch the full 10 minutes if you get a chance. But I'm not gonna play.
Yeah, that's. So wait, is that on YouTube?
Yeah, that's on YouTube. I have the link. I'll send you the link too.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Driving through downtown was hard for him. He wouldn't get out of the car and walk around. He would ask if planes flew over downtown.
Jade is a 7-year-old now, and to this day, Kate around tall buildings is frantic.
That feels creepy. I just don't like to look up. I would not like to go in that tall building. No.
He doesn't want to be around them. He doesn't want to come close to them.
That big shiny one looks just like the Twin Towers. It brings back a lot of memories, but I'm not going in it, okay?
I was worried. I was concerned.
We would make excuses. I say, well, that's his personality. And it finally did get to the point where I couldn't deny it anymore. He just flat out said that he was in a building that was hit by something. That it exploded. And that he had fallen.
Oh my God. Amanda, I think I've seen that somewhere.
Yeah, I have that one too. That's why I was like,
okay.
That's why I was like, maybe reincarnation line, because there's a lot. Oprah did an entire series. There was the kid who thought he was a Civil War fighter and recalled exactly the layout, everything. I have so many of those videos. They're so good.
Yeah, maybe we should. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Also, if you ever want to do one on your channel, let me know and I'll cut, because I feel bad. And also, what an awesome series to have on my channel. I'm really happy that it is. But I've got so much of your knowledge in your brain over here.
So I wonder now, Melissa, have you ever, I was thinking this while watching this. Do you think that some people who are like afraid of heights and stuff, is it possible that something happened in their past life?
That's what I was going to say. So there's another, like I said, Oprah does she did a reincarnation series where these kids remember this past life. And they say that if you have an extreme, not like, oh, I'm scared of height, no, an extreme phobia that is related to some trauma in your past life. And there was this other child who had an extreme phobia of fire. And from past regression and therapy and stuff, that all of a sudden she started having memories of the way she happened to die in a house fire in her past life. And the craziest part is with these reincarnation stories, they're able to track down the person that they once were and confirm the stories, like knowing details that they shouldn't know.
It's crazy. Jan says, when my husband died, my 3-year-old told me that man in the chair was here. He said, don't you see him, Mommy? He wants to know if you're okay. He was talking to him. Oh my gosh, it was a beautiful blessing. Jan, I am so sorry you had to go through that with a 3-year-old too. I cannot imagine, but I bet that did give you some comfort.
Driving through downtown was hard for him. He wouldn't get out of the car and walk around. He would ask if planes flew over downtown.
This is part 2. Hold on. Hold on. I played part 2 again. Meant to go to part 3. Okay, here we go.
It makes sense. Like, I don't really have any phobias, but like I told you guys, the trauma I went through having Bentley gave me a fear of losing the people, you
Yeah.
know, of stuff like that happen. So it makes perfect sense.
Yep.
I was still alive, and then all the rubble hit me. I didn't feel anything because I died.
I'm feeling very sad for him because I don't imagine a man going through this. I imagine my baby going through this. And so I still, to this day, I can't make the difference in my head. When he describes it, to me, it's my Cade. This is happening to him. I had a name then. So I went online and I posted Cade's story on a web board, hoping that other people would maybe help me find answers. And it was actually another mother who sent me the link. And she said there was a man that worked in the World Trade Center and he died on 9/11. His life mimics what Cade describes his life and his death was. I was absolutely shocked. Absolutely. I had to tell everyone I found it. I pulled up the obituary, the pictures, but I'd never thought about contacting the victim's family. Continuing to follow through with anything to do with 9/11 may interrupt their mourning process. But also, what would you say? What would you say to somebody? Your son didn't die. He is just someone different now. What would you say? I mean, I would imagine if somebody called me with that, I would hang up the phone.
Don't call me with that. Mm-mm. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Tia knows the World War II vet, she said. Yeah,
yes, he was on Oprah. We'll have
Yeah.
to do an entire reincarnation live because I'm telling you, you know, like I want to get you off with enough time, you know, between the other live, but there are so many ones, these like with the World War II vet, this kid went on Oprah and he sketched out in detail what he saw, where the medics were positioned in back, you know, in the day, where the medics were positioned, everything. And then historians came in, looked at his artwork, a little boy's artwork, and they were able to confirm this is exactly how they had it set up in the fields during this time. And he was able to recall that he died from friendly fire, the color of skin he had, everything. It was crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah. And can you imagine that's your kid going through that? Because I would be like her. Like you don't imagine, we would be sad for him because you would imagine it as your baby, not as the adult that this happened to.
Right. I just think it shows that there's something that is beyond our understanding that we don't know yet. There's something there, and it may not just be one solid black and white answer. It may collectively be this could be true and this could be true. You know, reincarnation can be real, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the typical way we view it. You know, there's just something we don't understand yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's this last
I see it.
part, this last clip.
Cade's situation now in the neighborhood is bleak. There are
You can
people
change
in the
the
neighborhood
speed
who
on
don't want
TikTok.
their
I didn't know
kids to
that.
play with Cade.
Cade has a hard
Neither did
time with other kids his age, and it's making his childhood miserable.
Every friend he's ever told the story to has called him a liar and laughed at him. Teachers tend to not like him because he was scaring the other children or he was disrupting the class. I'm heartbroken, absolutely heartbroken.
You just want want everybody to like your kid.
If they would open their eyes, if they would just open their mind a little bit and understand. My priority now is to just make life as easy as possible on Cade. Try to help him to be comfortable in his Cade body.
Every parent's hope for their kid is that they're more successful than you are, and they don't have to work as hard as you in life. And that, eventually one day people will be able to understand him and who he is. Because I love him. I wouldn't trade him in for anything in the world.
I need him to learn to be Cade, to learn to be a kid again, to learn to laugh. And I think we're going to get there. I do.
Aww.
See, they say that with reincarnation, okay, so kids are closer to the veil when you're born, when you're that young, and it's usually between 3 and 7 that you have the past life regression, that you have a bunch of these memories that start flooding of your previous life. But from 8 on, you no longer gain new memories, and those memories actually start to fade. And so a lot of kids that may remember a past life at those ages, as they get older, they no longer remember. And so it's something about being closer to the veil, closer to the other side, that brings along these memories. But as time continues, they forget them.
So I wonder if Cade now, because that was a little while ago, right? So I'm really curious about what his life looks like now.
Looking, yeah, I should see if they did, because I know Oprah did Where Are They Now? Like she has her Where Are They Now, like 10 years later from the
Ooh,
episode.
yeah.
And I'll check out if they did something like that.
Oh my God, that'd be so cool to see for sure.
Mhm.
And then if he didn't remember, imagine he's probably like, what in the, oh God.
Yeah, like what was I thinking? But this is very common. But a lot of with the reincarnation, there was this story, and I'll find it, of the child who remembered being killed by their neighbor and shot in the back of the head, and they had a birthmark, an indent on the back of the head where they claimed to be shot. Now, it was a more recent reincarnation, and they were able to track down where he lived. They went to the neighbors, and his body was buried in the yard. Exactly what this child claimed happened to him, that ended up solving the murder. It is crazy. So a lot of times with these reincarnations, they say, I'm sure you've heard, your birthmark is how you died in your past life. It's based off of that. Like a lot of these children who are reincarnated either have a scar, a bump, a birthmark that vividly depicts how they died in the past life.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So he basically solved his own murder.
Yeah, he solved his own murder. If you want to believe that's him, yeah. But I'll find that story.
That's crazy.
It was crazy.
Steph, don't freak out. I know it is scary. It'll get your mind going a million places. Just when you leave here, go watch something a little more innocent to take your mind off of it before you go to bed.
Go watch their Sarah Boone interrogation that they're gonna do.
Yes,
I love Boone.
Yes, I'm excited for that. And also, if it wasn't like, I'm sure that Jen Lou might even be there. I'm sure there will be some laughs from them over her ignorance. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm also, exhausted. So I'm gonna rest for a few minutes in between, and
Definitely.
then, my birthmarks on my stomach, like right beside, like right up, just like a half an inch from my belly button and an inch over to the right. And it looks like a little, almost like could have happened to me.
I have a very faint one on my back, and it looks like a sputter of shit. I don't have a cute heart or anything like that. If anything, it looks like
it's not.
A pile of
No, mine's not a cute heart. It's just a very weird, fat looking, lopsided one. But it kind of looks like a heart, okay?
Mine's okay. Even the videos that, like,
am I breaking up, or you guys, is someone else breaking up? Because I hear you breaking up. Okay. Can you do me one quick thing, and this isn't even an exact one. Can you, just because I think hopefully Amanda's still here. I had sent the
Yeah.
one with the dogs. Amanda was talking about her
Okay.
dog and stuff, where
Yeah.
a dog actually sent a sign.
Oh, they
Okay.
do through
Yes.
animals too, guys. Absolutely.
So I
through
just want
animals too,
Amanda
they
to see
communicate.
that one.
Neat foot.
Is it me cracking up, or is it because I might be breaking up some too? And Melissa, I think your mic is doing that thing a little bit because Rena's didn't sound
Okay.
like that, but yours did.
Okay.
It's Melissa.
But
okay.
Okay.
It's Michelle.
There we go. Let's see.
So just to
All right,
explain
hold on.
this,
You got-
Amanda,
You
I'll
got to show
explain
me
it while
which
you're getting it
one.
together. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it ain't me.
Our delay. Oh, the boot too. I didn't show the boot. We got to show that.
The boot.
Forgot about that.
The dog one, did you get it? You may not have gotten it. I sent it in the chat.
Let me go see. I might have missed it. Let me go look. Dude, what's the title of it?
It was more. It's not. It's just pictures I sent. So, I can explain it too.
Oh,
I mean,
I
so
got
what
it.
it was is, yeah, my uncle had passed
I
away
got
in
it.
May of 2018 and had a pit bull named Bonnie. And like obviously my aunt like was very much connected to this dog and everything else. Well, Bonnie passed away last year. My aunt was afraid to live by herself without another dog, so she finally got another dog and sent a picture last Sunday actually. And when I looked at the picture of the dog, you can actually see Bonnie on it. You'll have to see the picture. You can actually see my uncle's dog that passed on it.
See?
Oh,
Doesn't just
stop
I
it.
missed both
This
of
isn't even
these
a
two.
puppy.
You never.
Oh my God, I see it.
So
did
you
I
happen to
see it,
grab the picture of? Yeah, did you happen to grab the picture of Bonnie too? Just the comparison, but you can see the dog.
I don't
And
think
I
that was in
immediately
there. I didn't see that one in there. Yeah, you unsent that one on accident. I think because you got this dog and then it unsent right underneath it.
Oh, maybe. So it's
Oh, no. Okay, I see up above.
Yep.
Something else. I see it. Okay. I'm
So
sorry.
remember that, and then look at what the actual dog looked like.
Okay.
So imagine me calling my aunt, and I had her look, and she was like, "Oh my God!" And the dog has a heart on its neck. Look how cute it is. Yes, you are.
Aw.
That was Bonnie.
What a pretty puppy. And let me go back to that picture. Oh my gosh. The ear and everything. Like
Yep.
you can see the ear right there. That's
Yep.
really cool.
Yep.
Now, will you also explain this? Because this is cool too. This is a reading.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you want to, you can show. I don't know how much time do you have, because I know that you have.
I know, but
I mean,
still,
I can also post this or. Yeah. So this is actually it's a reading. I just kind of wanted to show, like, you know, for like different mediums and stuff like that, just kind of like proof that there is life. So these readings were actually pretty much, I mean, this lady would not have known this. My Facebook page is private. Some of the things you wouldn't even see on there, but I think this one of the things she actually said that really stood out to me was about my ex. I used to always say, why do you put your father on this pedestal? I mean, that's a whole story I'm not going to tell a YouTube world, but why? Why do you always put your father on a pedestal? And she literally says that in here. Like, you know, I put my dad on this pedestal and stuff like that. So,
And
I mean, I
said,
don't have that.
I saw the cars. Like she didn't know that before? Anything about that?
No, I mean, this was a month after he passed. I found groups and I just posted in there and was like, hey, can someone give me a reading on my son? And this is what I got. So I was running late. Yeah. I can't read it.
Here, I'll read it. It says, Rena, I saw cars and I felt intense movement, and it felt sudden because I felt a very quick fear, then movement, and no time to react feeling and shaking. There's a lot of grief around his car accident. He said to me, she's had a hard time with it ever since. This is him acknowledging the heartache. He says, it's okay. I'm okay now. I'm at peace, and that he wants you to be at peace about it. He said it was just the wrong place at the wrong time, and he was running late. He said, you know me, I was always running late. That he wouldn't and didn't show up at the designated times. I heard the words, my book. He loves that you have it and are taking care of it. He said you can have it in a sarcastic way, like you needed to ask, and to put it away how you got it. He said she's a special kind of lady, very caring. He had mentioned how you would make sure he was taken care of and checked on him, that he was fed and bathed and loved and cared for by others. He said this is where he got his caring personality from, but that you're also a hot-headed person. He thanks you for all you
Such a
did for
brat.
him and caring and loving him the way you did. He said the words, my hero. He said, my dad is like a hero to me, and my mom is also my hero. And the word pedestal. He mentioned that both you and his, hold on. He mentioned that both you and his dad loved him very much. I saw someone crying at what looked like his funeral. He wants you to know he was with you when you were crying in those last moments of what felt like saying goodbye. He was right there holding you. I saw head to head, his head on your head. Oh my God. Heads touching and resting on each other in a loving way. Does this make sense? He loves you. Oh, he loves you. I smelled and saw nachos. There is a special way he liked these nachos. It seemed like a lot of topping, a lot of cheese. I heard the word saucy. He ended in saying, we will see each other again and to be at peace. And he wants you to be happy and love your life and be easy on yourself. Ugh, I can't read the rest. Take care of yourself, and I love you. Oh my gosh. Wow.
She was spot on with like everything, which was crazy. The pedestal, like I said, I used to always, and I'd say to Zach, why do you put your dad on this pedestal? Like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? And I was not, and it was not, I never bashed him to his, I don't even think I really even said it to Zach. It was more to my husband. I would question all the time, like, why does he put him on this big pedestal? You know what I mean? I just never understood it.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah. Melissa, can you read
Amanda,
this
I'm not
part?
crying, you're crying. Yeah. Thank you.
I don't think I can read it either. Let Melissa, if she's not crafting.
I can read it if I'm just not crackling. Am I crackling?
Oh, you're a chipmunk.
I'm a chip.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, hold on. I'm coming on my phone. 1 second.
Oh my goodness gracious. So did
She
she
said.
well, let
said
me
he
ask
was
you
on his
first.
phone. Uh-huh.
Did you sorry about the delay, but did you know that did you know for a fact he was on his phone? Like
It
did
did.
he tell you that? Oh.
He had literally posted, my sister that day later on, she didn't tell me till the next day, but she was able to grab a Facebook story. And the time that she grabbed it was, now, you know, it doesn't tell you exact time for the Facebook story, but that when she grabbed it, it was 1:15 that day. And it said it was posted 5 hours before that. So he was posting stuff on his way to work on his phone and stuff.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And also, when I went to see him that Friday, the way his hand was, because they say it happened instantly when he was thrown out of the vehicle. The way his hand was when I was holding his hand and stuff was the way he held his phone. And like a mother knows how their son, like I knew how he held his phone.
Uh-huh.
So
absolutely you do. You know I could tell, like you can picture your kids doing everything they do really. So that oh my gosh.
Yep. And then she also
Okay.
kind of, and I know you can't believe everything, but if you read this next part, I mean, if Melissa reads it, it'll kind of tell you.
Okay. It says, he was on his phone. I saw him reaching for it. He grabbed it with his right hand, and from there, I felt a swerve motion. It was shown to me with my body as a slow motion movement, going to the right side like a swirling downward with the body movement, but to the right side, if that makes sense. He says he's sorry. It could have waited, but he is okay, and he is at peace and wants you to be at peace.
Oh
and this isn't the first time I've heard this from mediums. He almost every time he comes through, he apologizes.
Mm-hmm.
Because the two things I would always get on him for is he used to like to call me on FaceTime while he was driving. And I'd say, Zach, please get off. Like, I'm not talking to you right now. I can't watch you drive. You know what I mean? And his seatbelt. Like he refused to wear a seatbelt. And if he had a seatbelt on, I mean, there's a possibility he would have survived that day. So.
Oh my God.
Yep. So, and that's why I'm going to take the opportunity now. That's why it makes me nervous, like more than anything. Now, I'm not claiming I was always perfect, but I mean, I get on Melissa.
Oh yeah.
If her seatbelt thing goes off, I'm like, put your seatbelt on. What are you doing? Like, it's just simple things that could possibly have saved his life.
Yeah.
Well,
there was no drugs involved. My boy was sober till the day he died.
To the day he died, and that was
he would have been 4 years sober. 4 years sober. He would have been. Well, I'm going to say he is 4 years sober. This June. So.
Oh my God. Oh. Yep. I'm just, that is such an accomplishment. And, I don't know. It's just crazy because I remember you telling me about how you got him help and like talking about how well he was doing. And,
Allie, I was going to have him come up on a live. If you remember, I said, I need to get my son. Maybe we can get him to come up on a live.
Well, and I think it shows you because it's that feeling of, it's never going to happen to me type of deal. And I could tell you how much, like, since Zachary's passing, like, me personally realizing, oh man, like, like this hit for me, even just through my friend, like this hit so close to home type of deal. And it's not worth it. Cherish. That's why, at least for me, I kind of stepped away from the drama because it's like, holy crap. Like this is so, when you look at it in the hindsight of things, it is so minimal. It is so stupid. You really aren't promised tomorrow. Don't think it's not possible that it could happen to you. Put your phone down, cherish your loved ones, focus on your kids, and really appreciate what you have.
Oh, absolutely. Cuddle your babies extra hard because, and your mamas and everybody in your life, because you're so right. You just
take lots of pictures. That's the only thing I'm grateful of is he would leave me all kinds of voice notes and stuff like that. And the videos, he'd leave me videos and I'm so thankful. So like take lots of pictures.
I know I go back and listen to like voicemails from my grandpa. I bet you do that. We probably go back and listen to voicemails. And my friend, she still has her voicemail up on her phone. Oh,
yeah.
I have memories. I'm constantly showing these girls. Zach used to like to hack my phone and post on Facebook. Yeah. So I get those memories constantly.
Like I'm the best child in the world. My mom loves me the most.
Oh, yeah, my mom loves me. My mom doesn't like Vinny, doesn't like, you know what I mean, whatever. And my mom's gonna buy me this. So I mean,
my mom doesn't like Vinny.
His brother, yeah. I'm my mom's most favorite child in the world.
Yeah. I love the memories. Cute. I'm like, thank God. They irritated the hell out of me before. I'd be like, Zach, stop. But now I'm so grateful. So grateful for it. You know what I mean?
And even thinking about it, like, because I was watching one of the hospice nurse videos and it was like she was so stressed in the morning getting ready to go to work and the house became a mess and she had just got done cleaning and so her whole morning was chaotic and she was in really bad mood. But then the patient up on that day was a child who was just about to pass away, and it made her realize when she got home how much appreciate the mess, appreciate your house being chaos, because it can be gone in a moment. You need to appreciate that and not stress the small things.
Yep. Speaking of, show that video and then we're going to go. I know you want to show the boot video, but I do want to explain.
Oh, yes. I forgot.
This was 2 months after I lost my son, and I did crop it down very bad because my living room was disgusting. Didn't want to even move at that time, but you'll see like around the shoes, I didn't even get on the kids about putting the shoes up like where they needed to be. But this is in the middle of the night.
I watched it in this one. Which one?
Yep. The other one is you can just hear a creepy sound. That was in the middle of the night too.
Okay.
But you can actually see my daughter's boot just move out of nowhere.
Oh, it's so hard for me to see on there. It is. Okay, yeah. I'm going to pause it and show you guys the boot for a minute. So look right here. Here's the shoe rack or whatever, the shoes. And then you see the boot right here, right? It's sideways.
Yeah.
So it's going to come out from right there. Here it is. I cannot believe that. That is just insane. This is on the security camera. You see it in this position.
Yep. The dog was going crazy. And we came out, and I couldn't figure out what the heck had happened. So the next day, I checked the camera, and I was like, "What the heck is that?"
Oh, that is crazy. So watch this boot. I can't believe that. This one, I was like, wow. I had to show
And
the people around me.
you can see
Melissa, what
it's
did
like,
I used to say to you? Melissa, I used to get so mad back in those days. I'd be like, I want to show you the full video, but my house is a mess and I'm not cleaning it right now.
Listen, Rena really cuts herself short. For somebody in her situation, like, I didn't know if I'd ever have my friend again. I knew I wasn't going to have the friend that, she was. How can you ever be that person again? But I thought, she just would. She has made accomplishments since her child has passed. I don't know how many people can say that within a year of their child's passing, that not only would they be able to function, but they'd make accomplishments and better themselves. And Rena has done that. So don't let her cut. I don't care how many boots are around the house. Like, you have really turned such a traumatic and a horrific experience into something that you can grow from and try to help others from. And that's amazing.
Yep. And you've said that to me on me and you talking just privately, the same exact thing, like how proud you are of her. And yeah. So that is so
but enough
true,
mushy
Rena. And
shit,
yeah,
because she doesn't like the mushy shit. She'll laugh at me for getting mushy. She'll be like, all right, shut up.
No mushy. I'm not that like
That's
I
enough
meet you the
now.
first day. I love you. I know.
Yeah.
Don't do it. I'm like, you don't know me. Don't tell me that.
She accidentally said I love you too at the end of the call just recently out of impulse. And I was like, whoa. Because I was like, all right, love you. She's like, love you too. And I had to go back because never does she say that. It's like, she's like, it was an accident. Don't get used to it.
Aw. Okay, that's so cute.
Well,
You know
go get
what? Thank you,
rest.
Rena.
Yeah.
And also, thank you. Let me tell you, thank you for sharing all of this with us, because I know it's tough. It's not easy to talk about. I mean, I couldn't even read it, so I can't imagine how you feel like as we go through this. So, thank you, because
She's a
it's
strong cookie.
fascinating, and yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully it helps many. I mean, it just helps anybody who's it helps me to know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it's validating when
somebody
you hear
just
other people have similar stories, that you're not alone and you're not
exactly.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. Maybe somebody
Just
will
remember
come
that
across
you
this
said I'm
that
not
just
crazy, so
lost
don't ever
someone.
say I'm crazy.
Not in this way. In other ways, I beg to differ. No, really. Thank you so
All
much,
right,
Allie, for
you
having
guys.
us
Well,
on. Maybe we'll
thank
schedule
you,
a
Melissa.
reincarnation time. Hell yeah.
Yes, and the reincarnation one,
Yeah.
I will stay in the chat because you
Fine.
don't want me up there for that one.
No, I'll ask Michelle
Okay.
to come up.
Yes. I'm sorry. That was so funny that you remembered that. And that you said it. And then I was like, that was funny. You got to admit. And Rena was just like dead silent.
Nope. Cold stone. That's usually how it goes, Allie. I'm just giggling away, and she's like, all right. Like, enough. Whatever. Well, thanks for having us up. I appreciate it. I love coming up and having the discussion with you guys.
I love it too. I love it so much. Like I said, anytime I'll come over there, because I
Can we
feel
take
like
the screen off my messy house right now?
Sorry. All right, you guys. Thank you guys for being here in the chat, and I love you all so much. I really do appreciate you all. Thank you, Punksy. Thank you, Mods, and I'll see you soon. Bye, you guys.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye. I can't get it to end. Oh my gosh. Okay. Bye, guys.